Let's take a look at the Zachary Fowler signature card. Zachary Fowler was the season 3 winner of the Alone Show. I think he lasted 87 days on Patagonia. He is a survival expert. You definitely need to check out his YouTube channel, Fowler's Makery of Mischief. He has a lot of very, very innovative builds. He does a lot of catch and cooks. He is also a slingshot expert. So like all of the Grimm cards, this fits in the credit card slot of your wallet. There is a white backer that actually peels off so you can stick this to something. So you can use all the tools, and then the back of the card features a tool retention system. And what that does is just lets you place the tool right on the backer, put it back in your wallet, back in your kit, and you're ready for next time. So when you first look at the card, the most dominant feature is going to be the signature knife. So this is the signature knife from the Fowler card. You can see it's got the Fowler logo as well as Fowler's signature. So the Fowler knife has a lot of features to it. There's a lot packed into this little knife. The knife itself, I love the design. This dropped point with a flattened blade, that is called a Wharncliffe style. And whenever I see a knife with a Wharncliffe style, that's telling me that this is designed for wood carving. It's got a nice flat blade shape, so it works similar to a plane. But with the small tip of the Wharncliffe, that makes me make really tight radiuses. So any type of carving, be it for camp tools, camp crafts, or traps, this knife's going to really work fine for that. So with this single finger indentation, this is going to be the grip that works best for me. The second finger is just kind of there for support, so I'm pinching this between my pointer finger and my thumb. And that's going to give me good control on a knife this size. So besides the fine carving blade design and the single finger grip, we also see I've got a couple features here, and the first is going to be the awl. So before I break it free, you can see there's a small metal tab. All of the Grimm tools have a real small metal tab that you have to break through the first time you use it. So right now it's going to be attached to this knife. Once I break that tab, the awl is going to stay attached to the card itself. So let me just break through this. So there's a pretty good shot of the awl. So this is a fine tool, so this is not going to be the same as just working a knife tip through a hole. With this, you can make legitimate, pretty round holes. I also have 2 holes on the awl, so I can attach this either to a larger stick to help me work this a little bit better. I can also attach this to quite a long stick and use it similar to a hand drill. So with the awl out of the way, we can see that inside the knife handle, there's actually a tick remover built in. I think this is an outstanding idea. Lyme disease is nothing to mess with. With the tool built into the handle of your knife, in a card, in your wallet, you're always going to have this with you. If you encounter a tick in your daily tick checks, you can deal with it right away. So with the knife and the awl back into place, the next thing that's really jumping out at me is this fish spear on the bottom of the tool. So the metal fish spear is a great design. You can sharpen sticks, but they are not durable at all if you've ever tried to do that. So the spear is ridiculously sharp. We've got barbs on it, and I really like the notches for hafting this to a stick. So with something this pointy around the water's edge in a survival situation, fish and frogs are all going to be in danger. So if for some reason you're unsuccessful spearing those fish, there is 3 small and 3 medium fish hooks in this kit, as well as 3 spinners. So there's a good look at the barbed small and medium fish hooks. So there's a good look at the eyes on the hooks. Like all of the hooks I've encountered with Grimm, they are oversized to allow you to use non-standard fishing lines, such as inner strand of paracord. Now to help get those fish biting, there are 3 small spinner blades, and you can see there's a small step in that blade. And what that step does is it encourages the blade to spin on the line. It's going to create more turbulence and draw the fish in. So if you're still hungry after all that fish, there is also 4 spring snare triggers that it's included on the card. Here's a look at the spring snare trigger. And there are several different ways you can set this. You could set this with a line. You can set this off a stick. You can also set 2 triggers together. So this is going to work similar to an L7 primitive trigger setup. So in an L7, this would be attached to the ground. It could be attached to a stick. It could be tied to a root. This other trigger is going to be attached to the spring engine, and it's going to have the snare loop on it. So onto the fixed snare trigger, the one that's going to be attached to the engine is going to come down and clasp together. Now, any disturbance the animal does is going to trip the trigger, and that's going to spring the animal into the air. So there's a ton of variations with this. If you were after larger game and needed a less sensitive trigger, you could use a stick to be your stationary end or a piece of string, but I will go over all those in a later video. Another great feature on the Fowler card that's often overlooked is this outside edge of the card is actually a file. Included in the Zachary Fowler signature card, to keep the knife sharp, the awl and the hooks all functioning properly, there's a small piece of sandpaper. That sandpaper is exactly the same size as the card, so it's all going to slip in the same container. So I really do like the Fowler card. It does have a great knife with it. The awl, as well as the tick key, is very, very innovative. With that fish spear, that is money. That is going to put food on your campfire. The fish hooks and the spinners is a great thing to have anytime you're around the water's edge. And those trap triggers are going to be way more sensitive than what is easily carved in the wild. So if you like to be prepared without weighing yourself down, this Fowler card has a lot of handy items to have with you.